Hey guys, what's going on? I sound a little bit like shit because it's either allergies or a cold, fingers crossed. It's just allergies now I'm gonna be talking about because I haven't done this in a while. Shelf of London, specifically Little Bookshop of Horrors, where these books are cursed, and if you read them, you get turned into a Larry character and kill people or like kill yourself. It's like what the fuck, man? Some weird shit right there, right? So basically, like, you find out why the books are cursed in the first place. Anyways, like, the beginning, this lady basically turns into, like, the Queen of Hearts from reading, of course, Alice in Wonderland. She decapitates her husband and then ends up in, like, this mental hospital because, like, they thought, wow, this chick is crazy, man. We're not gonna put her in prison. I mean, she's obviously like insane. So yeah, they basically do that. And eventually, one of the main points of this episode was because like Ian has to publish a book. Um, Said publish or perish. Like I don't know if like that means his ass can get fired if he doesn't like do that, or I guess his like reputation. I don't know exactly. I guess the professors, of course, like have to publish like articles and books, to I guess stay relevant. Um, and yeah, basically like he goes to the same place and it's like this hit like young dude, and he's like, yeah, this isn't gonna sell me. And he's like, come on, what happened to like Triax? Like, what happened to the company that publishes my books usually? And he's like, oh yeah, I think he said something. I think he said like that. It doesn't exist anymore, or um, something about Triax stock. He's like, yeah, I need to make this interesting, and he's like, conflicted. He's like, this isn't supposed to be catered towards the public. It's supposed to be like catered towards like professors like me. Like he's conflicted. Like he wants people to take his work seriously, but at the same time, I mean, like he's kind of considering making it more interesting, which doesn't. You find out it does not like turn out well for him in that regard. Um, Basically, yeah, like, and then I think like the next day or something, like, basically the guy like he turns into Captain Ahab. He I think stabs a publisher of Slav Dog or something like that, and he like jumps out the window. And basically, Randy's like, "This is kind of suspect." Like, seriously, like two people who commit murder dressed as literary figures. I mean, there's got to be something, but he's like, "Nah, dude, the guy probably snapped. Like, he's a publisher, he was under pressure or something. I mean, it makes sense, he publishes books, and for some reason, like, he just lost it." And he's like, no, there's gotta be like some weird ass reason. Like I said before, she's the one who, I mean, mostly, believes in all the supernatural stuff because she's a werewolf. Of course, she's gonna like be more inclined to believe this shit. Um, so basically, yeah, they eventually go to the bookstore because they find out exactly where it came from. The dude like completely blows off. He's like, "Oh, what? No, my books are cursed or something." Nah, it's all good, man. Basically, like Randy keeps on insisting. She's like, "You're hiding something." Like, "Oh man, we're gonna figure this shit out." And Ian's like, "Sorry, being disrespectful or not having appreciation for classical books. She's from LA or something like that." And basically, while she's like looking for books, while they talk about boring stuff, like Anna Karenina flies at her, and she's like, "This place is cursed," and like this book almost had me, and like no one, well, Ian doesn't believe her. They buy a book because like Ian feels bad for Randy kind of like being a jerk to him. So they take the book and Randy's like, "This place, I mean, there's something wrong with this place," and he's like, "No, there isn't." She slams the book on the ground like they go their separate ways. Um, and basically like Randy turns into Anna Karenina, and for I mean apparently like Anna Karenina like like committed suicide or something like that, because Randy like goes in the street like right as a truck, I think the delivery truck, is about to hit her. Of course, like, she's not gonna die because she's a main character. Like, shit, like, she's like the star of the show, so, so to speak. Of course, she's not gonna fucking kill her off. But of course, Ian doesn't know that. He's like, oh shit. Well, he doesn't. I mean, like, he freaks out because, like, yeah. And then, like, the truck goes past, and it's like, he's like, oh fuck, where'd she go? I mean, if she got hit, like, she would be on the ground or something like that, or I don't know. And he's like, wow, she disappeared, man. What? She didn't say it. And then you find out that, like, Randy somehow miraculously like ended up on the other side of the street, like behind this car. Like, I mean, if it was anyone else, they probably would have like fucking they would have become roadkill if anyone else like was possessed by a book. But I think, well, I mean, I think I read like a lot on this website about it. I can't remember the name. Like, I mean, yeah. Anyways, like, basically, uh, she doesn't get hit by the truck because she's a werewolf, and like, I guess maybe magic isn't as like effective on her as it would be like a normal person, so she's able to snap out of it at the last minute. Because like, I was saying this proof of this because like the publisher dude, like, he succumbed to it, the lady, but Randy did. So it was like, this is pretty interesting. So yeah, I can agree with that website that I read, and that basically Randy knows since she's a werewolf, like, she was able to get out of Dodge. And then it's kind of interesting because, like, I mean, basically, 2 times she like does this, like, she's like lightheaded or something. I guess it's understandable, because if you like duck and roll or something, like, if you move too fast, it's gonna be like, yeah. But yeah, but I don't know. I mean, comment down below, like, how do you think she like was able to snap out of it and stuff like that? I mean, And basically, yeah, he's like, okay, I finally believe you. They go back to the bookstore. The owner turns into like the Cyclops. Ian kills them. Like, he legit gets to like the very top or something, like a bunch of boxes of books, and like he just pushes one of them off and it hits the dude and he dies. It's like, seriously, bro. At least, like, I mean, and then the weird part is when they go back to the bookstore later at night, like, apparently his body is not there anymore. It's like, what the fuck? I mean, it's a plot hole, man. Like, they're like, what happened to the dude's body? Like, why didn't they call the cops anonymously or something? I mean, what the heck? Like, I mean, obviously, if, like, obviously in real life, if that happened, like, I mean, for sure, like, the cops would get called or something, then, like, they'd be able to figure out that he ended up because of the fingerprints. I don't know if, like, in the late 90s, they had that technology. I mean, if they did, then, I mean, you would go to jail and stuff like that. But because, the story is completely, because fiction and stuff. Yeah, so they can get away with anything, apparently even murder. So anyways, yeah, I had to go back to Bookshop because before the dude turns into ogre, he talks about the compendium, which is like, has a bunch of spells and stuff, and Ian believes that it has a cure for Randy's like camphor bee. And basically they said to go back there at nighttime, and like, yeah, basically, like, before that they steal they steal a delivery truck, and they just drive away with it, and then basically like Ian almost like gets him into an accident or something, and basically like a lot of books fall out, and then yeah, basically like they figure out it's in the shit's missing, and then turns out a bunch of people like turn into like soldiers, so they like go inside a shop or something. Like, Ian gets turned into like Robin Hood, a few other characters, and then basically Retney like flips a page and like becomes like a little match girl and basically burns the place down. And yeah, she doesn't find her cure, obviously, because then the show would end with only 6 episodes. I mean, it only has like 20 episodes, but like it would have ended a lot sooner. And that would have kind of sucked because it's a great show. Although the 11 Curse rerun is, I mean, some of this stuff is okay. I'm not gonna cover it though because it's like, nah, it's not really my favorite, so I'm not gonna cover that shit. Anyways, I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you did, give it a thumbs down. Be sure to subscribe. I usually post on Mondays and Fridays. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, wonderful week. And I'll see you all on Friday. Bye, guys.